Welcome back to Man Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and should we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? Well, this is the second intro I'm doing because I did not turn on my microphone for the first one, which, you know, is a thing which happens here and then, you know. You would have thought, hey, wouldn't you be really good at remembering if you turned your microphone on, because there's like a glowing red dot into your, I don't even know what it's called, like an audio interface or something? That's right, I have a special audio interface which my microphone plugs into, just for that crisp, higher quality voice quality. I don't know where I'm going with this, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, a week till Halloween. Isn't that exciting? Hello there, everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow, 6:01 PM on Sunday, October 24th, 2021. Enough to really speak of today, so I'll go about our usual business. I don't even know what to talk about today. I don't really have anything in mind. What I've been up to today, been doing a bit of drawing, played some games as per usual. I suppose there's nothing really all that interesting. There's new what have we called, like dark pictures anthology, something video game out, because I saw Northern Line playing it like yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Who's Rowan? Dear Mountain, you like the clothing I sent? I bought it for myself, but then it got super duper mega. Oh, you know, we've had this one before. We know you and your sweatiness, Rowan. Oh, it's Sunday, of course. There's wait, is it Sunday? It's Sunday, right? I said a date and I immediately forgot what the date is. Yeah, it's Sunday. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Halloween falls on a Sunday this year, which is considerably better than it falling on Wednesday, I'd imagine, for just a random barbecue. For most parents, or, you know, I guess people who are also trick-or-treating, fair enough. It shouldn't just like restrict it to parents only. But yeah. I don't know, you know, we obviously we save Halloween stories until Halloween time actually comes. Yeah, just played some games. Played some Genshin Impact, as per usual. Managed to find a 36-star of a Spider Abyss. Was it that fun? It was actually very anticlimactic, if anything. Played some gacha games. You're not here to listen to me talk about my gacha games. You're here to listen to me talk about absolute random nonsense the entire time. Okay, so you know, let's think about this. What do I want to talk about? What has been on my mind recently? What's been particularly interesting, noteworthy? I don't know, dishwashing. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind. Is it still a thing? Like, because I remember when dishwashers were first becoming a much more of a commonplace household item. I remember reading this book, you know, the 50 Questions Kids Ask book, which I've brought up numerous times before, which probably, I'm going to say, it probably makes up about 60% of my factual knowledge. Oh, you know what? I just thought of something we should talk about. Get rid of his 50 questions kids ask about train of thought. Okay, I'll finish the train of thought, then we'll get on to what I should talk about. Sorry, that was a really weird noise I made. What was I saying? I forgot. Like dishwashers are like they use up more water than washing dishes by hand, but you know, now apparently that's not true anymore because dishwashers have gotten more efficient. Wow, what an interesting conversation. And aren't you so happy I talked about that? No, you know what happened recently? Charlie the Unicorn, the finale, came out recently. If you don't know, Charlie the Unicorn is this old like maybe Flash, and well, I guess it's called Adobe Animate now, animated series by Fawnhallow, who is, I don't know, you probably know. If you don't know Charlie the Unicorn, that's absurd in my mind. He must be someone who's, I suppose, quite new to the internet, because it was all the rage back in 2004-ish, I guess. Somewhere in the early 2000s, it was a hit internet meme sensation, which followed the story of one so-called Charlie the Unicorn and his two buddies, is perhaps a strong word, two companions, whether they're for him or against him, I suppose, is a bit up in the air, but well, until the finale, I suppose. The pink and blue unicorns, which apparently they have names, they're called like Lols and Ruffle, apparently, which is, if that isn't just evident of the early 2000s sort of humour which Charlie the Unicorn goes for, I don't know what would be. But anyway, apparently there was a live stream where it was just like, oh, you know, the final installment of Charlie the Unicorn was live streamed like at like 6 PM or something yesterday, well, my time, and I don't know what it would have been for your time. And I watched it. It's 40 minutes long, mind you, which is quite absurd considering the normal Charlie the Unicorn videos are like 4 minutes at max, maybe. They're really not that long. I mean, a short and sweet sort of thing. But yeah, Charlie the Unicorn is just sort of like a comedic Flash animated video following the adventures of Charlie and Ruffle and what was it, Lols or something, where it's basically just a load of absurdist humour, where Charlie Unicorn is basically the only sane I was gonna say human, same unicorn, I suppose, in the entire Charlie the Universe theory, Charlie the Universe, Charlie the Unicorn multiverse or whatever is going on, and the pink and blue unicorns are just, honestly, they're just absolutely insane. It's perhaps the only way you can put it. Just absolutely primordial forces of utter chaos and randomness, kind of in a holds up spork sort of way, but also, you know, it's so off the cuff, it's so absurdly random, but it's actually probably, I think it loops around to being very funny in my mind. I feel like Film Cow, I don't actually know if it's a team. I think it's just one person and one person doing the voices or something, and I don't know if that's really the case with the finale or whatever, but has a impeccable sense of timing, in my opinion, with, or perhaps I should say very much to my own taste's sense of timing and comedic punchlines, I suppose. So yeah, the big finale, Charlie the Unicorn, I suppose, part 5, quote quote, came out yesterday. It's 40 minutes long. I watched it last night. It's pretty good, and actually, surprisingly, wraps up the whole sort of Charlie the Unicorn saga, I guess, quite nicely. A neat little bow. So if you haven't watched it and you are, you know, worried about being spoiled about Charlie the Unicorn finale, and all the other previous Charlie the Unicorns, I suppose, go watch them now. I guess it'll take out an hour of your time. You can watch them on double speed if you want, or if you're familiar already with the first 4, you probably only need to watch the final one, which I did watch on 1.5 speeds, because that's apparently I don't have the patience to watch anything on normal speed anymore. But yeah, I guess we'll just talk through all the Charlie the Unicorn series. So, you know, the first one, just like I assume it was just meant to be some sort of one-off series about this grumpy old cynical Charlie the Unicorn who sort of plays a straight man to the wacky and wonderful pink and blue unicorn, or who take Charlie on an adventure to go to Candy Mountain. Let's go to Candy Mountain, Charlie. Okay, I'm not going to do that impersonation throughout the entire video, because I'm sure it would get rather grating. But that's what happens. It's a very, very, very quotable sort of saga, I suppose. I love chicken katsu. I do love chicken katsu. Yep, it is my favourite food. And they do things like, they talk to the magical Leopleurodon. It's a Leopleurodon. Something like that. Right. Oh no, that's Charlie Toad Unicorn. Sorry. And I know, they talk to a Leopleurodon, and then they're on a bridge. We're on a bridge, Charlie, on a bridge. There's so many quotes on it. I don't know why it's, you can tell it's like a core memory, I suppose, to me. It took a very long time for me to get that sentence out. But there's so many different like quotable moments in it which just have stuck in my mind. And so they go on a bridge, and then they go to Candy Mountain, and then the letter Y sings a song about Candy Mountain, and then he goes into Candy Mountain, and they knock him out, and they like steal his kidney or something. I don't know. It's a very sort of random-esque humour with sprinkles of like weird dark humour in here and there, but like dark in an overly comical sense, I suppose is how you might put it. Like, you look at it and you're like, ooh, you know, that sounds a bit, you know, a bit darker than I expected. You go, haha, I think. It's sort of like nervous laughter, I suppose. Anyway, that's the plot of Charlie the Unicorn 1. You know, it's got Shun the non-believer. That's a pretty big quote, which I always used to quote with my friends back in, God, it must have been like in year 7 when it first came out or something. Shun the non-believer, Shun. If you haven't seen the Charlie the Unicorn series, you probably think I'm absolutely insane right now, which is fair enough, and I am, but not for the reasons you think I am, I suppose. That's such a like an edgy quote. I'm the Joker. Yeah, I mean, Charlie the Unicorn 2. What happened? What's the plot of Charlie the Unicorn 2? Oh yeah, he's like the Banana King or something. Like we had to go return an amulet, I think, to the Banana King. And then I don't know, but there's a musical number in all of these for some reason. The first one I can't really remember. It goes like, but I don't really remember lyrics to it, so I can't really sing it to you, unfortunately. I know, me not remembering lyrics to a song. Who would have thunk it? We need to go get seashells. That's why I'm going this way. Second one, it's like a Banana King. We need to return an amulet. There's a choo choo shoo. That one I remember. Shoo. Chugga 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 shoo shoo. Is this what I'm going to have this episode be? I'm just going to quote Charlie the Unicorn quotes just completely out of context. See, if you're one who, if you've seen the series, you'll be like, ha ha ha, that was a funny moment. If you haven't, you'll just be like, what? But you probably wouldn't be watching at this point. I mean, I don't know if you could stand 10 minutes of it so far. We go like to the Banana Temple or something, and then There's a weird creature who sings a song which goes, put a banana in your ear, in my ear, put a ripe banana right inside your favorite ear. It's true, says who's, says you, says who. But all your problems will go away if you take a ripe banana and put it in. I can't remember the lyrics exactly. But essentially the whole premise is if you just block out, you know, ignorance is bliss sort of thing. Block out all the problems in your world just by putting a banana in your ear, you won't have to listen to him anymore and, you know, everything will be fine. Probably. And then it turns out he, you know, Charlie was the Banana King all along. And then, you know, they rob his stuff when he's too busy being a Banana King or something for a little while. And then you get into Charlie with Unicorn Free. What is this one where they go underwater? Or is this the snow one? No, I think it's one where they go underwater. I can't really remember the plot to this one, to be perfectly honest. But they end up going underwater and there's like some sea goat. And he sings a song. Oh, but they meet a mystical door. The door, the door. It knows all that is and all that will be. It can see your soul. Something like that. Can it really do all of that? No. It's so quotable. Anyway, this weird like Capricorn sea goat sings a song about how the creatures of the sea love you or something, or love Charlie specifically. I guess not you technically, but sorry. And it goes like, I can't remember. It goes like, swordfishes love you, jellyfishes love you, starfishes I love you in the ocean blue. Diamond catfishes love you, catfishes love you, blowfishes I love you. You know it's true. I'm trying to remember any more of that song. It's got started. It does like actually lead on. You know, it's actually structured like a song, or like an intro, chorus, and that sort of thing. But I just can't remember it very well on the top of my head. I'm sorry to say. But you know, the general premise of it is you can sort of get the gist of it. Hold on, what insect does it want? Is it wolfroach? It's a wolfroach. Possible. Don't know. Let's see what the not customizable, the hot item is for today. And then you got I was gonna say Life is Strange for. No, Charlie the Unicorn for, where they go to space for some reason. I don't remember. They want to like blow up the moon. Wooden fish DIY workbench. What the heck's a wooden fish? I don't remember wooden fish being an item. Well, we're gonna make a wooden fish because the other thing takes far too many things for us to possibly create it. And then yeah, they go to space to like blow up the moon, and they meet a giant like millipede, or is it centipede? I am a millipede, I am amazing. Gaze upon my wondrous face. I'm a god, I'm a king, I'm a sight to behold. Can't remember the rest of it. Where's a wooden fish? Does a wooden fish even exist? I swear they can only give you things that you can make, right? As hot items. It must be here. It must be a small item. Maybe it's not. What the heck is it? Is it a door plate? Maybe it's a door plate. I mean, I don't see it. Hold on. I can't believe we had to do this. We actually had to Google it because I have no idea what this is. Animal Crossing wooden fish. Oh, it's the wooden fish drum toy. That's why I wasn't looking. That's why I wasn't. It's this. I wasn't looking for it when I was just passing over things. Yeah, they meet a millipede. Oh yeah, by the way, it's a recurring thing with all the Charlie the Unicorn series where after the creatures or whatever finish singing a song for Charlie, they explode, so just randomly. And then I don't really remember much else. So that was sort of it, I guess. They just explode, and then yeah, honestly, it's a bit of a weird series of events. I suppose me saying it out loud definitely made me realise, I suppose, how very strange this entire premise is. But it is very entertaining, and I would 10 out of 10 would watch again. Okay, maybe not 10 out of 10, it's perhaps a bit too high, but it's very entertaining at the very least. Anyway, but if you had a finale yesterday, which the general plot was there's 10,000 years in the past, sorry, this is spoilers by the way, 10,000 years in the past, there is a pangolin, I think, who is investigating this giant tower which is protected by a load of weasels or something, and then he investigates this like curious door which is beneath the tower, and then the weasels like open it, and then it unleashes this cube-looking thing, which is actually like a force of evil, like no, a force of chaos, or something like that. And then, you know, that kind of wreaks havoc on everything and murders everyone by like sapping their energy force or whatnot. And then it turns out this chaos force has a lot of power. It can like puppet people, so it basically like goes into their mind and it kills them, but it sort of like animates them as an undead puppet, which is, you know, actually kind of dark, but still. Oh, let's not leave yet. Let's put things away. Yeah, it's kind of dark for a child of unicorn sort of story, but you know, hey ho, there you go. A little too high and a little too low. Just seeing what other things we should keep around. Oh, put the wood away, of course. Don't want to carry those around forever or ever. Yeah, so primordial force of evil. And then, like, what else happens? It kills like everything, and it ends up with the pangolin person trying to like warn people before it happens, and he goes to like the magic city, and it turns out everyone's already dead, and he goes to the underwater city, and the underwater city like they like signed, they had like an agreement that as long as they stay out of the way of the primordial like chaos board or whatever, or chaos cube I suppose, they won't get attacked, I think. And then he gets summoned by the bug council or something up in space, and they're slowly dying, and then it's just him and like this head bug person who like goes back to the tower to try and seal off the person again. Also, by the way, the dead weasel who accompanies him sings a song about like marrying a coat, and it's highly implied he's done things, you know, had a relationship with a coat. But it's a sentient coat, by the way, sentient. And throw that out there in case you were curious. It's weird and very like just out of nowhere, but it happens. And then he like turns this wheel in the tower, which opens up a rift, which contains basically a load of other all the rest of these chaos cubes or whatever behind it. And then the original chaos cube sends the pangolin through that rift, which kills him, unfortunately. Jump 10,000 years into the future, we got Child of the Unicorn once again being bothered by Lulz and Ruffle. I guess we'll just go deep sea diving and catch some bugs. Lulz and Ruffle, and they're going on an adventure where they need to stop like the wiggle or something. I don't know. The name changes like literally every 5 seconds. By the way, it's got a fantastic quote in it. Well, you're whacker wrong, which I'm going to say all the time now. Yeah, well, you're whacker wrong. Fantastic quote. Yeah, but I can't even remember the plot. They like ride on a rainbow, and then some shark thing sings to Charlie that he needs to like smile more, I think. And then he explodes and gets covered in blood, and then what? I can't remember. But there's another song, but I can't remember what exactly happens. Charlie gets whisked away. Oh yeah, but the starfish from episode 3 comes back. Well, I guess he came back in episode 4, right, when they try and blow up the moon. He comes back and gives Charlie some magical objects to like infuse himself with to become magical. It sounds very nonsensical, but this is what happened. What else happened? Oh yeah, he goes to like the cat temple or something, and there's another song, and there's like a real life sock puppet rapping about what happens inside, and there's some like mystical cat being, cat god, cat deity. I mean, I don't know what happens. And then the starfish comes back, gives him another magical item, and then some just, you know, antics happens, and they end up at the tower again. And then what? And then the starfish freezes time and brings him to the ghost of a pangolin, who is like, okay, I'm going to send you through the rift. Hopefully you have enough magical items to survive it. Something like that. And then, by the way, the most shocking, and actually it kind of made me sad, shocking thing to discover was that the blue and pink unicorn were actually dead this entire time. They were just the primordial chaos cubes or something puppeteering their dead bodies this entire time. And there's like a little... It actually made me kind of sad to hear. Like, I know it's not even that tragic and it's all comical and made up, but I was like, ah, that feels like... It made me feel bad. It was like a flashback to like the blue and pink unicorn just being like relatively normal, just sort of hanging out, just like chatting with each other, and then like a weird noise happens, and then the blue one's like, pink one's like, hey, you want me to check that out? The blue one's like, yes please, and then pink one's like, oh, okay, can do. And when it comes back and the pink one's flying and it's being like, we need to go on an adventure, and the blue one's just like really scared and like doesn't know what's going on, and he's like, you're flying. And just the most deadpan way. I don't know why. It's sort of like, it doesn't break my heart, but it makes my heart ache, I suppose. Where it's like, oh, they were just so normal, and they just got possessed by these primordial forces of chaos, and then like their dead bodies were forced to be puppets and agents of torturing, I suppose, Charlie and his poor psyche for like the past whatever many years, when they were just like normal normal unicorns and living their life. Because you're flying. And it's like, I found the letter Y. And then the blue unicorn just goes, who are you? And then they just get possessed anyway. And then, you know, there's the blue and pink unicorn we actually know. Quote, quote. Anyway, yeah, Charlie Unicorn gets sent in through the rift, and it turns out he survives. He didn't get obliterated because inside the rift, it's the office space for an old wizard, also called Charlie the Unicorn, which is why he didn't get obliterated, because he has like a safety protocol to eliminate anything which passes through as long as they're not Charlie and a unicorn. And it turns out these chaos cubes were like primordial beings with no magical something, which the wizard Charlie the Unicorn tried to harvest, and like he made these like containment boxes which allowed him to sap magical energy, and then he was like, we could weaponize them, and then he like sold them to armies and governments or something, but then one of them like stole his magic and killed him, which is the one I assume who escaped. to cause havoc on everything. And then he gets given the OG Charlie the Unicorn gets given, well, I guess he's not the OG, but the Charlie the Unicorn we know, grumpy Charlie the Unicorn, gets given some sort of hat to try and save the world somehow, and he somehow uses it, and it's meant to be like, oh, you need to think happy thoughts for it to work, and then he doesn't. He just like, you know, I'm gonna be grumpy because I have good reason to be grumpy, and my whole life has been just an absolute nightmare, a living nightmare. And then it works anyway or something, and he banishes those chaos cubes and saves the world. And then the starfish comes back, and it turns out the starfish was actually turned into the steering wheel, which was turned originally from the starfish centaur, which he actually was. And then the starfish centaur comes back, and it's like, oh, you know, I do love you, like, you know. I mean, it was a running joke through the previous episodes where the starfish was like actually in love with Charlie or something, and then he has a heart attack and falls off a cliff, and then it's just like, what? Me saying it out loud has very much illuminated to me. This honestly makes no sense, but watching it is very entertaining. A lot of quotable moments. My favourite part in it is when they're riding along a rainbow, and then the blue unicorn goes to Charlie, how do you know you are you? And then there's like this weird conspiracy where they freak out Charlie, and was like, oh, you know, that snowman you met at the end of episode 3 or episode 4, I can't remember, is actually you. The memories have all been transplanted into a snowman. You've actually been the snowman the entire time. The original Charlie died in the snow or something after his kidney had been stolen. And he's like, no. And they go back through a little bit like his past memories or whatever, but showing the snowman in place of a Charlie, and then they show the choo-choo shoe, and he's like, well, wait a minute, the choo-choo shoe's from before I met the snowman in the first place. And then Blue Unicorn just goes, oh yeah, my bad. It's just like, what? Anyway, so basically, Charlie the Unicorn has had quite, I guess, a social impact, if anything, over internet culture, especially in the early 2000s. It's very much, I'm not sure if it's the epitome of like XD so random sort of humour, but it definitely is something which is emblematic of it. I'd imagine My Name is Boxy, you know, Katie Penguin O'Dean, that copy pasta, might be perhaps a bit more emblematic of it, but I don't really know. What am I, some sort of internet historian? But yeah, it is kind of a relic of the older times, but what I'm more impressed about is the fact that the comedy in it, like, not the theming per se, but the not aesthetic, but the way it composes itself. That doesn't make any sense. Like the humour and how it tells its story, I suppose, has remained very consistent all throughout, you know, this finale. It's exactly, you know, if it was released just like a year after Charlie the Unicorn episode 4, I would have been like, it's exactly the same. The fact that the creator managed to maintain such a consistent, I suppose, style, might be a way to put it, for 16 years or so, hiatus is incredible. And honestly, you know, watching it was a huge nostalgia trip in itself, because I was like, you know, this was something I watched multiple times when I was younger, when it originally came out, because it was incredibly entertaining, and it became like a very quotable thing, which became a running joke within like my group of friends all the time. You know, Shun non-believers is something I don't really say it much anymore, but you know, I feel like if you say Shun non-believer to anyone who's around on the internet age from the early 2000s, they'll immediately understand what you're referencing. A sort of shared connection you get with Charlie the Unicorn. And the fact it's come to an end is sort of just like one of those things where I'm just like, you know, I don't know why I feel like a sudden sort of sense of sadness about this, but I guess I kind of do. Even though I shouldn't. Well, not like, oh, I shouldn't feel sadness, but like, it feels like such a over-the-top thing to really feel sad about. It's like, oh, you know, I guess I didn't even realise it was coming to an end, but here it is. That's it. That's the end of Charlie the Unicorn, and it feels like a nice sort of way to tie up this very sort of nonsensical series. And apparently, the creator had like a Kickstarter or something, campaign to fund the release of the Charlie the Unicorn grand finale series or whatever in the first place. Like he wanted to make a big finale, but you know, obviously it costs money to animate something, especially if you want something to be like 40 minutes long. So he had a Kickstarter campaign, and you know, obviously it got funded, and I don't know what the stretch goals or whatever were. Let's not sell these things. And it was premiered yesterday, and I was like, oh, you know, I didn't even know it was coming out. It was a very sort of like nice surprise, I suppose, to find out. Like, oh, you know, Charlie the Unicorn. Haven't thought about that in years. But you know, watching the finale made me watch all the previous episodes again, and I was like, you know what? Still pretty funny. To me, exactly. It's still very random, and perhaps maybe random humour is not really your favourite thing, but I like it quite a lot. It's sort of like I never know how to describe it, but it's the sort of humour where it's just like you know, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not even going to go into it, because it's not like it's indescribable. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to put it into words. I don't know Charlie the Unicorn's exactly my like pinpoint the epitome of the sort of humour I like, but it's certainly something which is nostalgic, I suppose for me, in the very least. You know me, I do love my nostalgia. Something I'm always very heavily talking about whenever I get the opportunity to reminisce on something of a bygone era. And it brought me straight back to those sort of days of watching Charlie the Unicorn and all the other things which Film Cow? Is that the creator's name? Or creator's tag username has made. You know, llamas with hats, like wasn't really much of a thing for me, but some other things, like I can't remember, like Business Weasels, or where one of them's a serial killer. Like what song does he sing? I love the smell of grain, the screams of a man in pain, blood coming down like rain showering me, that everlasting thrill when getting the final kill. Body dumped in an landfill, got free. Oh gosh, sorry, just punched my microphone. These are all the things that make me smile. These are all the things that makes life worthwhile. And I can't remember the rest of it. It's very dramatic, and also that funny little animation where the actual animator dude was like too busy to actually make a cartoon, so the person who voice acted all the characters makes all the drawings instead, and then the animator, just, you know, being a loving friend he is, just makes a script of like all the hardest things he could possibly think of to draw. I think it's called like Alex Draws a Cartoon or something. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna round off this episode here. Charlie the Unicorn, very nostalgic, I thought. But if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Adam crossing you with Islands. I've been Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join the Darling Discord. Follow me on Twitter, Discord down below. Hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, Shun, unbelievers, Shun. I don't know. Bye bye for now.